been a minute since I've done a short. I haven't been doing my usual walks around the park because I've since moved on from that location. Beautiful location. The prospects of ever being able to afford a place like that again, very slim. You know, it's gone, it's gone. Just waiting for it to get broke like a piggy bank, and that shit just kind of dispersed. And, you know, generational wealth dispersed among Carnival cruises and what have you. Is what it is. Not my call. You know, go spend it on African vacations. Whatever it'll be spent on, it'll be spent on. I'm beyond the point of caring. I'll tell you, I went on a tour of the South, checked out some areas, some prospects, people having fun out there. You know, the thing is, prices are similar for a lot of things. And some prices for goods are actually more expensive. Like far outside the city, I was actually shocked. Gas, unless you're like in specific areas, you go too far south, and gas gets expensive again. Go figure. But in some areas, it's like significantly cheaper. It's like we're talking like $2.50, $2.40. You know what I mean? 60 cents cheaper per the gallon, which is not enough. You know what I mean? Like if you're a trucker, you're gassing up down south before you truck your shit up north or whatever the fuck. You know, some good, some bad. Tennessee, I have no idea what the fuck they're thinking in Tennessee with that minimum wage. Alabama, Jesus Christ. I've seen a bunch of signs that say rebuild Alabama, and they should probably just be build Alabama. The only other place I've seen desolation like that, like not desolation, but like it's like eastern Utah. There's nothing outside of the cities. There's nothing in Alabama. Like it's just a downward slope from Tennessee with trees. Florida's like people know the deal with Florida, but like that, the western part by Pensacola and Tallahassee. Well, the coast, anyways, Panama Beach and the Keys, Destin, and all that shit. Pretty happy. Although those Keys, the K's up there, but it's different than Key West, which is all the way down south. These are like the northern Keys. But like they seem like common beaches. They were packed. And Perdido was like, it was strange. It was all rentals. They weren't like hotels. Like they may have been hotels, but they looked like they were all rentals. But you know, nice areas. And then I swept around to the Outer Banks, and I went through the Outer Banks, Nags Head, and all that. It was beautiful over there. But something just kept me rolling. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe Lake George might be in order until you know, one of these apartments comes through or whatever. The apartments are there. You know, like the studios supposedly available for $1,600. You know, they want good credit and stuff like that, which I fortunately have. You know, I'm like, you know, in my own mind, I'm the ideal tenant. I'm quiet. I'm single, no pets, no smoking, no drugs. You know, I'm not going to be a major pain in the ass when they fucking move in, you know what I mean? I'm going to be pretty much quiet, talk a little bit on Discord, but other than that, it's mostly just to sleep and shower, you know? Nothing too crazy. There's one, like, condo place for rent. It looks like in Sheepshead. They want $4,000, like, it's a $4,000 acceptance fee. And then it was like, the rental fee was actually reasonable. But supposedly they have a pool and a gym and the whole nine. If the place is actually worth it, you know, I mean, I'm leery to drop that kind of dough on it, but I can afford the rental. It's just like if there's a maintenance fee on top of the rental fee, it's like, ain't gonna pay the dick. But there's some stuff out there, you know, Marine Park, that neighborhood out by the Carib, behind Keys Plaza there. It's not Mill Basin, it's like, I forget the name of it. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's all relative. It's just a place to sleep, to put a bed and sleep. Haven't found anything. There's nothing in Bay Ridge that I can see. You know, it's all word of mouth or whatever. But like I said, I'm sure my old tenant, which is the whole reason I'm moving out, is like she'll pretend she's not a piece of shit, and she'll show her true colors to her friends and whatnot to her neighbors soon enough. You can't hide who you are in the long run. Anyways, I just haven't put a YouTube video up in a while, so I figured I would. It's not a short. I gotta come up with something for the shorts because I want to stream to YouTube Live eventually. That's been the goal, but you know, is what it is. I got my Wi-Fi set up through my phone, through little jailbreaking, and it's a good thing. You're not paying for like a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's USB connected, but totally worth it. I had done this years ago when I stopped paying for cable, and then someone decided to start paying cable for me again. But it's good because it reduces, like, it's not like a super duper connection, but it's enough where you can connect, and it's a wired connection, so it's as good as like your phone and your laptop combined, one might imagine. But there's no, there's really nothing that can't be cracked. You know what I mean? Someone says it can't be cracked, they just don't know the right people. Anyways, just a little update. And yeah, maybe like George, maybe a nice little campground where I can burn some firewood and maybe see if people need rides up there because they can work in upstate New York. I would have done a working vacation, but I only wound up working in Tennessee, and that was a disaster. That was by far, that was like my first day, and that was a fucking, I did my 10 hours in the car, and then I signed up for the apps, and then I did DoorDash, and I got twisted because there was like no way. There was no feasible way with the way things were spread out in the Tri-City area to cover like $900 a month rent. Like, you just weren't going to do that on DoorDash. It just wasn't going to happen on DoorDash. Rents are probably cheaper, but it's like you got to know somebody, and it's like there was a cab driver in the town that I was looking at, but he disappeared, and the hotel owner was like, we could use a new cab driver, but the way he made it sound is like you'd be dealing with people who are dealing with like pain in the ass situations, and they'll expect you to do it for dirt cheap. It's like, well, that's not exactly how it works. Like, you're probably calling me on short notice and want me to roll out of bed for chicken feet. And it's like, No, no. That's generally not how it works. It's generally why Uber has these giant infrastructure things set up, and there's a reason the old guy don't pick up his phone no more. You know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna go all in and give up my New York City TLC, because my New York City TLC covers New York and it covers Jersey too. So there's no point, no point. There was no point in switching over my driver's license on a whim, because once I give up my TLC plates, that's it. Can't get them again. So I was not gonna do that. Merchant Marine's always an option. I kind of always, part of me wanted to join the Navy or the Merchant Marines. And that's always an option. It's always been an option. Uber can end at any moment. You get a false report or something like that, and your whole shit is done. If the wrong shit happens to you, it's unfair. But we'll see. My account's old enough now. I don't know. I'm pretty consistent as a decent driver. Not everybody has perfect days, but it is what it is. Somebody accused me of live streaming for the first time, which is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Some dickhead from Chicago. Some fucking wretched loser. It made me feel like the first time somebody reported me for not wearing my COVID mask. It's like, listen, you stupid bitch. You're helping fuel tyranny. You don't understand what you're doing here. You're just helping fuel tyranny, you stupid, twisted bitch. They don't care. I love my COVID mask. I love my COVID vaccine. 2 billion masks in the ocean. 2 billion! King Neptune is pissed. That's why the Mermaid Parade sucks now. Because every screeching fruitcake is in the crowd. And it's only like Mermaid Parade is a limp fish. Put it that way. When everybody in the crowd is a fucking freak, there's nothing anybody can watch with that'll make it good. So all that shit, when everybody's a freak, being a freak doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyways, sucking on that, motherfuckers.